Hey, Shalom Markins for Kamak from GMS London, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Chakvatash. I want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the Hot Fodex, pushing his truth in all sincerity. Back again, another video, just a quick one. You had got a bunch of whistleblowers at the US, in the military, wanting to put out their observations of what they call UFOs or UAPs. You know, they want a method of being able to report them. Because right now there's not a real channel for them to come out and speak openly about these things without persecution, without them being deemed crazy, or it coming up on their medical checks, annual medical checks, right? So these guys want to be protected for speaking about these things that they've witnessed, okay, things that they've come in contact with, okay, without like I said, being looked at as crazy or losing their jobs, man, and being deemed unfit for their role in the military, man. And so these guys, a couple of them here, that are willing to risk their jobs in order to bring this out, man, and to try and get some sort of protection to speak out about these things, because these men are concerned. These men are concerned about the things that they've seen, and there's no real course of action being taken, against them. And they have every right to be concerned, man. It is what they call uh, in interest of national security, is a threat to national security, right? So, they have every right to be concerned, man. But they're so concerned, man. They're willing to, risk it all, you know, in order to put this out there in the public, or to have the proper, uh, you know, procedures, put in place for them to, you know, report and do something about this, man. So yeah, you got that. This was put up 11 hours ago by the Sun. It says whistleblowers deliver warning of UFO presence amid alleged military cover-up. All right, so like I said, I'm not gonna play the video because I don't know about the Sun, whether or not they'll flag it, but you can watch it in your own time, right? But he mentioned, these guys mentioned things that they've seen, these UFOs, unidentified flying objects, what they've witnessed, maneuvers and appearances and whatever. All right, things that are not earthly, right? Not of this earth. Pardon me. All right, so just grab the scriptures, right? Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1. Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I said, I see a flying roll. The length of thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Right? And this guy, he mentioned seeing the object. I think he said it was like a cube shaped, wrapped around in a transparent sphere. That was about 15 foot or something like that, right? So, he just trying to describe the dimensions the same way, it's being described here, right? Just that, this one's being described as a roll. And in the scriptures, that they're described as many different things depending on their appearance, because they take different shapes, right? They might be referenced to as clouds, pillars of fire, you know, whirlwind even, right? So they're described as different things in the scriptures. Wheels, wheel within wheels, the lights and all that kind of stuff. They're all, depicted here in the scriptures, right? That's why we know what they are. Okay, they're not aliens and things like that, which the majority of people would like to believe they are. Even the one of the guys that was giving his testimony, and that he said he don't like to use the word. I think it was alien or something like that. But he said I'd rather use the term non-human, right? Because we don't know what they are or what it is that we're looking at. And it's true, because they the angels who are the beings that travel in these vessels are not human. Right, they're spiritual beings, right? So, and the world is not ready to uncover that just yet. They're not ready to find that out, right? Because the day it happens, man, it's going to be completely unexpected. It's gonna be completely unexpected. Only those like us, that are teaching that these things are really spiritual beings, the angels, traveling in vessels, man. You know, and the world's going to get a very they're going to be in great shock, okay, when they find out what all these things are, you know. But like I said, he's concerned, right? So yeah, he was describing, you know, this cube thing, all right. And here Zechariah is being described as a flying roll, and he's giving dimensions and whatever, right? So verse 3 tells you though, so this, as it then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth, right? And these things are being monitored and seen in all parts of the earth, right? For brief moments, for long moments, you know, depending on, you know, whatever it is that they're doing, right? But it's a curse. It's not anything good in terms of, you know, for the people of earth. It's not anything good for them, right? Though, although, albeit it is good for the children of Israel, the elect of Israel, right? It is good for them. You know, these are vessels of our salvation. These are the things that are going to deliver us from the Lord's great judgment in the end. All right. But they're out here doing, you know, the Lord's bidding, you know, whatever they've been assigned to do in the earth, you know, whether it's just to put fear in these, in the military and whatever the case may be, whatever it is that they're doing, you know, they're not sent here for the good of the peoples of earth. All right. So yeah, it's a curse. So this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, right? And this planet's done, you know, these people in the earth have done a major crime against the Heavenly Father, man. All right, they have persecuted, they have, you know, put in captivity His children, right? And we all know the story of you know, Egypt and the Israelites coming out of Egypt, right? And what the Lord did to the Egyptians, right? It's the same thing that's going to happen to the world. Okay, beginning with America, beginning with these Edomites. You know, the Lord's going to bring judgment against them, right? So they have done, you know, a gross crime against the Heavenly Father, and these are, you know, aspects of his destruction, of his judgment. Okay, these chariots, these you know, what you call UAPs and UFOs. All right. So for everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on the side according to it. And I will bring it forth, save the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies. That's what host means, the Lord of armies. Okay, these chariots, you know, what you call UFOs, UAPs, man, they're part of the armies of heaven. Right? There are many of them. Okay. So I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. Pardon me, right? So beginning with Esau, who is the biggest thief on the earth, right? Evidently, right? Because he everywhere in the earth taking lands that don't belong to him and ruling over people that don't belong to him, right? Yeah, you know, the Lord's gonna come and cut him off. Okay, and as the scripture says, he's gonna restore our goods, man. Right, and Esau's gonna be left with nothing. All right. And everyone that sweareth, sorry, back in verse 4 here, it says, so it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. All right. So yeah, these are they have every reason to be concerned, right? But there's nothing they can do about it. Ultimately, it doesn't matter, right? Because this is part, you know, this is the end for you. This is part of your end, right? The Lord musteth the host of the battle, right? You know, the Most High is preparing for the day, or his day, the day of the Lord, right? Preparing for the day of his judgment. All right. And it's going to fulfill prophecy, which we're going to read here. All right. And this is 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 3. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Okay, this is Yahushua when he returns. Okay, because when Yahushua returns, okay, that second coming of Christ that you Christians like to talk about, this is what he's coming to do, man. He's coming to make war, coming to destroy. Right? Yes, he's going to come and save his elect, but guess what? There's going to be a lot more destruction than there's going to be saving, you know? So that beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Okay, that host of the armies, the host of heaven. Okay, which are these angels in the vessels, right? And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. Pardon me, right? And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Right? So these military personnel, these people out here, okay, that are talking right now, or talking in the video, okay, they're the type of guys that are going to be sent to confront the Lord when the Lord returns, right? Because they're a threat. Yahweh Shai is a threat. The angels are a threat. These vessels that you're seeing, these vehicles that you're seeing, are a threat, right? So naturally, the government, the armies of the earth, those that are left over from through the World War III, right? They're going to be banded together to confront the Lord, right? To defend, your countries, your land, right? Earth, right? You're going to band together to try and fend off the Lord, okay? Which is completely futile. The guy already admits in the video that the technology that they were witnessing is far beyond anything that they've got, and that these men can come in and out of the airspace and we can't do nothing about it, nothing, right? So he already admits that they already know this, but you expect to send people to fight the Lord and do anything? There's nothing you're gonna do, right? And they know this. Esau is proud and pompous. He believes that he can, defeat the Lord if he turns up, right? But these pilots and whatever, they're gonna be what it's gonna say, right? They're gonna be shitting themselves, right? They're gonna be doubting, right? Verse 5, right? It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number, Slakia, from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he graved himself a great mountain and flew up on it. Right, and this is where they get the idea, or the movie, for the movie Independence Day, with the massive ass chariot, the spaceship, whatever, right? That comes, right? There's a mothership or a fathership, right? That's just massive compared to the rest, right? This is where it comes from. It comes from the scriptures. Okay, and that's what Yahweh Shai is going to return in, right? So that verse 7, but I would have seen the region or place whereat the heel was graven, and I could not. Right? So it ain't like the one we just read in Zechariah chapter 5, it's so many cubits, right? It's relatively small. This one couldn't be estimated. It was so large. Okay, because he couldn't see the whole thing. It was so big. It says, well, I would have seen the region or place where the heel was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Right, so they're going to be shook to go up there and face this threat, right? But like I said, these are men that are under orders, right? So they're going to go. Majority of them are going to go. It's Earth's last stand, man. They gotta go. It's that of being enslaved, right? So they gotta go. They've been sent out. They're gonna go. They want to protect their wives and their families and all that kind of bullshit, right? So they're gonna go. They gotta go. The Most are gonna make them go, right? Lambs to the slaughter. They're gonna be made to go, right? And they're gonna be afraid. Okay. And it's the same thing, what the Lord did with Pharaoh, man, when he hardened his heart, right? He saw the things that were going on, all the plagues that were coming on Egypt and the people, right? But it was the Most High that made him continue in his foolishness, man, to reject the release of the Israelites. Because the Most High wanted to destroy him. It's the same thing here. The Most High wants to destroy the armies of the earth, right? So they're going to come up, right? And even though they're going to be scared shitless and know and believe they have no chance of winning, they're going to come fight anyway. They're going to become a sacrifice. It's going to be destroyed on the spot. As you read on, right? Verse 9 says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of innumerable multitude, Nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. And again, they get bring this idea into the movie worlds where people are just getting vaporized, man. Turn to salt, turn to dust, right? Because this is the type of power that the Lord is coming with, man, and these angels are coming with, man. It's not a fair fight. Okay, you're gonna be eviscerated on the spot. Okay, deatomized on the spot. you know. And Esau has no answers for that. He has no technology that could even possibly rival that. Right? That's why it's just going to be a massacre. It's not going to be a fight. It's not going to be a proper fight like that. Right? It's a war in heaven for real, but it's not a proper war. it's just an onslaught. Okay, you're being invaded by a superior force. Right? A majorly superior force. So you're just gonna get rolled over, man. Okay, you ain't gonna be able to resist. All right. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. All right, this is speaking about the same occasion, okay, that we just read, Second Esdras, right? It says, and there was war in heaven, okay, in the earth, okay, in the skies, which is the first heaven. There was war in heaven. Michael and his angels. Well, we know the Lord's returning with the angels, right? Fought against the dragon. Okay, the dragon represents Esau, right? And the dragon fought, and his angels, his militaries, his fighter pilots, and fighter jet pilots, and all that, because they're going to meet the Lord in the air. We just read it, right? And the Lord's going to dismantle them, right? But they're going to come together in the heaven. There's a war in heaven, right? But it said, and they prevailed not. No, because you got turned to smoke. You didn't prevail. The dragon didn't prevail, right? So neither was their place found anymore in heaven, right? Their power, had been brought down. Okay, Esau is in rulership right now, right? So he's in his power. But after his military's gone, there's no way he can maintain that power no more. Because he has nothing to defend it with. His wealth and all that kind of stuff. He has nothing to defend himself with. His teeth have been broken. Right? So you have no place in heaven no more. You're going to come down to the ground, to the earth. And that's why the scriptures say, I behold Satan fall as lightning. Because you're just going to fall. That's it. In a matter of moments. Okay, it's not going to take a long thing when the Lord turns up. This is not going to take a long process of time. This ain't like one of these American wars where they're in Afghanistan for like 10 years and all this kind of stuff, or longer in different places or whatever. This isn't that. When the Lord shows up with his army, man, it's quick work. It's quick work. Okay, it's not even going to be a day. You know what I mean? It's going to be total annihilation, man. So yeah, you feel like lightning. Satan, which is the adversary, who are these Edomites. Okay, Satan in the flesh. Okay, these Edomites, right? Okay, are gonna come out of your power. All right. So again, verse 8, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. Okay, because you've been taken out of rulership. All right, verse 9, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, okay, which is Esau, which deceiveth the whole world, right? Because it's Esau out here deceiving the whole world, bringing all these bullshit into the world, and making people believe and conform to to these ideas, man, and these ideals. It's bullshit, man. He's been doing that. Okay, shoving it down everybody's throat, man. All right. So he was cast out into the earth. He's cast down, right? And his angels were cast out with him. Cast down. It's cast out. Cast down to the earth. To the bottom. Right? He's not in his ruling esteem no more. He ain't in high esteem no more. He's not highly exalted anymore. He ain't in power. He ain't in rulership no more. Okay, and all these nations have been brought down with him. It says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength. So the salvation is coming for us, the children of Israel, the elect, Lord willing, right? But we will be of the elect, right? Salvation is come for us, right? It says, and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his anointed, Yahweh Shai. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down. And, beginning with these Edomites. Okay, he is the accuser of our brethren. right? Which accused them before our God day and night. Okay, and they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. It said, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time. And Esau is trying to move, faster to complete his NWO agendas. All right, so he's moving quicker, man, because he knows he's running out of time. Because if he turns up, well, in his mind, if he turns up and he ain't ready, then he's gonna fail. But you're gonna fail either way. No matter if you can't be ready. You know what I mean? There's not anything you could do to be ready, to prepare for the Lord and His return. There's nothing you can do, right? But like the hubris of the elites of Esau, man, they believe they can do something, to retain their kingdom. It's Revelation 19 and verse 11. So, and I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. Okay, he's speaking about our Lord Yahushua yet again. It's the same prophecy. He's coming to make war. That's why he's coming with the host of heaven. Okay, to battle Esau, Satan, okay, in the heavens, to cast him out. Okay, this white horse represents power. Okay, it represents, his power in the chariot that he's moving in, right? His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. Again, because he's coming to take down all the nations, because he's making war with the nations, right? And because he's about to destroy all their armies, right? Leave them defenseless. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses. Again, Yahushua is coming with armies. He's coming with the angels. Okay, what you people are calling UFOs and UAPs, right? This is what his armies are, man, right? Which followed him on white horses, followed him in these vehicles that you're calling UFOs, UAPs, right? Clothed in white linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. Right? He's going to destroy the nations, destroy their armies, destroy their economies, everything. The infrastructure is gone, everything gone. And then these nations are going to become enslaved. Right? And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. That's what it means. He's going to enslave them. And rule them with a harsh rulership. Severity. Okay, rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath with the Almighty God. Right? So he's not coming in a good mood. Okay, he's not coming in a happy-do-lucky attitude, man. He's coming here to inflict pain, right? And wrath and aggression. The Lord's coming aggressive. Okay, maximum violence, right? That's how the Lord's coming, because he's coming. He said he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty God. Right, so Yahushua, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, ain't everybody's friend, man. He's coming to inflict real damage on the earth and the people, and to treat you badly, unrighteously, treat you badly, right? And he have on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, right? He's about to show you what that all really means, right? And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud, like what they see, they've observed, these UFOs, UAPs or whatever, right? In the midst of the sun, traveling on the surface of the sun or whatever it was doing. He's observed that. All right, so I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God, that ye may eat the flesh of kings and the flesh of captains. I said these military personnel, right? And the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army, right? So that's exactly what we read in Second Esdras. It's the same prophecy, right? This is Satan and in the war in heaven. Okay, it's really speaking about these Edomites and and the rest of these nations that are going to band together to fight the Lord when he returns. Right? Verse 20, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. Those that were in cahoots, You know, these both were cast alive into a lake of burning fire, of fire burning with brimstone. And the remnant was slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls of the air, all the fowls were filled with their flesh. All right, so yeah, you have every reason to be concerned about these objects that you just don't understand yet. You know, that are leaving you confounded. All right, because like I said, when it's goal time, when it's battle time, you ain't gonna want to face these. Okay, and there is no way of facing them. Okay, the only thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna be destroyed. All right. So and it closes out with this, 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 6. So seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you, right? Because Yahushua and the angel are gonna come and do all this destruction, but he is gonna save his elect, the elect of Israel, right? So this is the recompense. Well, that's the Lord recompensing tribulation to us, man, right? To them that trouble you, okay, by destroying the nations, man. And to you who are troubled, rest with us when the Lord Yahushua shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels. And that's what we're waiting for, man. We see the odd chariot here and there, doing its thing. But when we see the armies of heaven all show up, and Yahushua show up in his massive chariot, man, we're going to know, man, it's over. It's finished. This is all finished. This is all over, man. And that's what we're waiting for. Okay, these are our army. Because Jake, right now, we ain't got no defense. We're relying on Esau's system to defend us, man. But if Esau is the devil, we can't rely on that. If we wanted to rise and revolt, there's nothing we could do. Esau will just put us down easy, quick time. But our army is invincible. Okay, our army that is up in the heavens, man. Okay, that's our army, man. The armies of Israel. They're part of our armies, man. Okay, and the Lord is sending them to deliver us. Well, beginning with his elect. Yahushua is on a rescue mission, man. But then after that, after we've been rescued, guess what? Nothing but judgment, destruction, war against the rest of the earth, man. Okay, and they're gonna get put down quickly. All right, so this is what we're waiting for, man. We need rescuing. From the hand of him that is too strong for thee, right? Too strong for us. All right, Esau is too strong for us, man. Okay, but he ain't stronger than the angels and Yahushua. All right, so we're patiently waiting for this day. Like I said, when we see the armies of heaven show up, it's a wrap. All right, so with that, I'm gonna say shalom, Lord. This was edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video, man. So till next time, I say shalom.